Our next speaker, I recently have made her acquaintance, and she is a fantastic woman as well. She makes the best cookies, by the way. Just throwing that out there. She is, this year, she's going to be the recipient of the 2012 HCR Louisiana Equality Award, which is amazing. She is the chair of the LGBT Community Center in New Orleans, Louisiana. And she is the Deputy Policy Director, for Forum for Equality, which is a statewide LGBT organization. And with that, I would like Mary to come up here.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for having me come up here. I'm here today speaking to you as a lesbian with an agenda. And it is quite true that we have an agenda. And our agenda is not so big, and it's not so unmanageable, and it's not so unrealistic as to be impossible. Our agenda is really quite simple. We only want to be treated fairly, with the same legal protections as everyone else. For example, we want to work without being afraid of losing our job if our boss learns that we're straight. We are not straight. Sometimes those bosses are. Okay, we want to be safe in our homes and not risk eviction because our landlord sees our lives as a violation of some morality clause. We want the students of this state to be safe from being bullied for any reason, but especially we want them to be safe from abuse because of their real or perceived sexual orientation or gender identity. We want families in this state to be made stronger by laws that focus on the best interest of the child and not on the sexual orientation or gender identity of the parents. We want loving gay and lesbian couples to be eligible for the same rights and responsibilities of marriage as the meanest murderer on death row who marries their pen pal receives as a matter of course. We want our transgender brothers and sisters to not be at risk for violence for just being themselves or for trying to use a public bathroom. We don't want them to face discrimination in healthcare due to bias against gender non-conforming people either. We want to be free from humiliation and to be refused service in any public place like a restaurant, a bar, a hotel, because we show the slightest sign of affection to our partners. We want to walk the streets without fear of harassment by law enforcement or other authority because they don't approve of our orientation or because we can't conform to their gender binary system. We want our LGBT service members to not only serve openly and proudly, but to have their partners treated with the same respect and eligible for the same benefits as other service members' families. There are very few places in Louisiana that have any of these rights. In fact, we're standing in a city that couldn't even pass a non-binding resolution welcoming folks regardless of their sexual orientation or gender identity. Okay? We have got a lot of work to do. The true value of Americans is our belief in equality. It is the reason that many of you are here today, and I call on you to join the fight for lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender equality. Let me finish by mentioning two bills that are still coming up in this session. The first one is Senate Bill 100, which is a public employee non-discrimination bill that would protect employees of the state from being fired because of their sexual orientation or gender identity. We're planning on it being heard this Thursday, May 3rd. Contact www.forumforequality.org for more information on that. And as most of you know, the enumerated anti-bully bill that was written in coalition with educators, disability rights advocates, and LGBT activists was gutted in committee and then withdrawn by the author. Representative Smith is fabulous. We have still not given up, and she has not given up on passage of HB 407 or even the companion bill, Senate Bill 619, but we face several competing bully bills that we have to still pay attention to. One of them is a religious right to bully bill that's been sponsored by the Louisiana Family Forum. It must be defeated. please go to stopbullyinglouisiana.org so that you can help protect our students. Thank you so much for coming out today.